Hello, I'm Lori LaRose. I am super excited about World Card Making Day, and thank you very much, Stephanie, for organizing this. It's super fun. I'm also pretty excited that I'm wearing red today because I am doing a Canadiana theme. I am from Alberta, Canada, and I have Active Stamping where I do lives most weeknights, believe it or not. By the way, that I'm going to be quite garbled right at the beginning. I usually take quite a while to make a card each and every night. I have super lots of fun. I'd love for you to join me at 8 o'clock live Mountain Time. But anyways, so you are looking at this bear and you're probably not far off with thinking, oh yeah, for sure, she's doing polar bears because they are an iconic symbol of our Canadian Arctic. And you're 100% correct. I'm taking it one step further and using it on are very cool and iconic, what we call our Toonie, which is a $2 circulation coin. It's actually one of the world's most innovative coins, that it is a $2 currency. Lots of places have $1 currency coins. We had one prior to this one, and it had the Canadian loon on it. It was called a loonie. So quite quickly after this coin was introduced, it was affectionately called the Toonie, not because of the polar bear. Anything else sort of fell off, but basically this guy did not. So I'm going to bring in, this is actually our mouse. We could use any sort of soft surface. I tried to do something, and I'm going to give it a go with you guys. I used my Versamark. I used the little embossing buddy and the gold embossing powder to emboss one of our polar bears on here. The polar bear on our Toonie is actually called Churchill after, I'll tell you the story one quick second. I tried to think of a way to do something with him, and my mind went sort of wacky, but I'm going to show you because I actually completed one card and it was kind of fun, and it might be something you might want to do down the road. I wanted to pop up the image, like, because on a coin, it's kind of an embossed, like, crazy image, but he's hollow, obviously. So I thought, well, if I could push it through, would that work? So how was I going to know where he was, except if I drew a little line? And I'm not sure, yeah, maybe you can just see it. So I thought, well, I'll outline him with the thinner edge of the stylus. And our bear, this little fella, is called Churchill, named after the town in Manitoba, which is the capital of polar bears sightings, well known for going to take excursions to explore our territories that have most of the bears. So I'm going to turn that over now, and I'm not going to actually totally finish this in the interest of time. It's kind of, so I can just faintly see where I'm coloring, and it's tough for you to see online, so it'll just be sort of painful, but it's an idea, and it does pop it out, and it kind of works. So you'll see the finish of that in a few seconds, but what I did decide was that it was probably just easier, since I had a punch. Oh, hello, Lori. Let's use that, and let's pop this out. So it was like, yes, let's do it. So I'm going to pop him out. And it's kind of fun because the embossing actually kind of thickened, and he fills out just beautifully. He's just gorgeous. I just love him. So I definitely popped him up onto with some dimensionals, and then I went to finish the rest of the card because of course we can't just have, you know, whichever. So I'll bring in a piece. This is where I wanted to use the colorful seasons. I also have to tell you that, if I can find it. So Friday nights, when I'm losing stuff all the time, we do the girls made up fun, and they were like, oh, for goodness sakes, Lori, if we had $1 for every time you lost something. So I'm just going to stamp around the edges of this with this smaller version of this, and I'm just pressing firmly. I should probably have a little piece of fun foam or stamping piercing mat underneath our photopolymer, because of course you get a sharp image when you are stamping with our photopolymer stamps. And so I'm just stamping where I think that I'll be needing to have it, because I'm going to cover it up mostly. So I just need to go along the outside, and I'm just randomly turning this around and stamping off the image. Anyways, Friday nights, if you're so inclined, you must drink responsibly, but we do not the dollar for every time I lose something, but not the loony, but a drink. So it's kind of fun. Cocktail hour with Lori on Friday nights, 8 o'clock. Kind of silly. I did find it though, so stop drinking. I tried, interesting, our old copper paper and our copper embossing powder is not so good, but that was where I scratched it. And again, I'm not sure that you can totally see it, but it's our penny, so it's kind of fun. The maple leaf, it's a wonderful sight to see. So there is a little song by Michael somebody, and he sings about all of our dollars, so it's kind of fun. So then I brought in also from Nature's Prints, the little hello there, and I stamped it in Memento ink, and I just backed it on a little piece of red. And then I'm going to back everything onto the red, as well as I pulled out from my little mini Boss machine. And I believe, and I'm 92% sure, this is an old one, but because Canada is a bilingual country, I was pretty excited that this little guy has all sorts of different languages, one of them being bonjour, so that was perfect. A little bit of interest on the side here. And I have to say, that one's not quite as pretty, so let's go for it since we're doing the color of television. Well, the color of red. We'll do that. I just think I have some red on my fingers, actually. I'm going to put the whole thing onto a white card base. And then I have to bring in, and you're going to be like, what? Of course, you can't just have this. You have to have it onto a piece of something. So I've pop dotted them and stuck them onto something. And then I'm going to bring in from the Tilta, no, it's not a Tilt-A-Whirl, I think it is, but it's the spinny card. I brought that guy in. So now you're like, black? What is black? What are you doing, Lori? This is interesting. But I will tell you that in 2022, the Mint minted a memorial in honor of the Queen, Toonie, and there are 5 million of them in circulation in Canada, and actually many of them been shipped abroad because they're sort of special and fun. And so I thought that I would honor the Queen myself with doing a black Toonie on this particular occasion. So I'm just going to put this little hello on there, and I definitely had some red ink on my fingers from stamping. Sad. And I'm going to bring in a red on this guy. I'm going to bring in the other little one that I tried to show you the complete one that doesn't fall off with a black ribbon option. So that one is there. And then just to show you the difference between the two, whether you chop them out, punch them out, or do the embossing. And the embossing is fun. It's the two very different looks, but both are totally cool. I thought it would be fun to do a little bit of a standalone card. So I pulled in a circle punch. Now, where did I put that little guy? Right here. And I just, when I was running it through, I had folded it over, and I just missed one little part so that I would have a little foldy open card. And so that's just by putting the circle die, the circle die just slightly off. If I put it on the black, you can see it's just slightly off, maybe. Hopefully you can see that. And that way then I have the little fold. And then I glued that onto the back of this little card so that he can also stand up like that. So that's kind of cool and fun. If you are ever in Canada, out in Ontario area, I have never been there, but there is a giant Toonie for you to be able to look at out there in Campbellford, where the artist that made the front of the Toonie lives, and so that became the home of the Toonie. I'm going to tell you that, where did I want to tell you? Kind of interesting because there are lots of different Toonies. I'm trying to think, how was I going to meld this in? It was so smooth. Anyways, there's lots of different Toonies, there is one where there's a baby polar bear with its mom, and it actually has the words knowledge and le savoir on it to indicate the passage of knowledge from mother to child. You can watch for all sorts of them. One to watch for is a Toonie that actually has blue on it. It's a funny little squiggle, which represents actually insulin. And the blue is the globally representative color for diabetes awareness. This Toonie came out in 2021, which was the 100th anniversary of the year that insulin was discovered, which ties in quite nicely with, if you are interested in buying tutorials of all the great ideas that you're seeing today, including this fun one. All the funds raised from the sale of the tutorials are actually going to juvenile diabetes research this year, the fundraiser, and so that would be kind of cool. And whether you have a standalone card to learn about or the regular one, that's super cool. So again, I'm Lori LaRose with Active Stamping, with Lori LaRose here on Facebook and Instagram. My Instagrams are lickety split. My lives are crazy long, and between it both, it's lots of fun. So if you have any questions, make sure you touch base with me. I would love to help you further understand my scrambly information of how I created the Toonie card. All right, thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.